Your homepage should tell visitors what your website is all about using words, because just letting photos speak for themselves is a really difficult thing to pull off. In this short video, let's look at a few examples of taglines or unique selling propositions that photographers have written on their homepages to see what we can learn from them. First of all, if you don't know what a unique selling proposition is, or USP for short, then just think of it as a tagline, as a short phrase on the homepage that explains to first-time visitors what the website is all about. Having such a tagline is highly recommended instead of just letting your photos try to convey the whole message, which usually doesn't work really well. People are capable of making really fast impressions of your website, and maybe you don't want them to judge you just by the first or second image they see on your homepage slideshow, for example. So let's just look at a few examples of taglines that known photographers have been using on their homepages. Let's start with Peter Hurley. Most of you probably know who he is, and the tagline on the right hand side of his homepage reads, "Peter Hurley is the premier headshot and portrait photographer in New York City. He's best known for the genuine expressions he captures for his executive business portraits and actors' headshots." I think this one is written really well. It doesn't just include his specialty and his location, but also it describes what makes him unique. So this is a really good example to strive for on your own website. Strobist, a well-known website. Okay, the design is really old. It still uses Blogspot. And we can kind of consider that the first phrase to be the tagline, and it says, "Strobist is the world's most popular resource for photographers who want how to learn to use their flashes like a pro." So I think it could be rewritten. Who want how to learn. This how word should go away, I think. But anyway, besides that, I think it's simple. It's straightforward. It's a description of what the site is all about. It doesn't need to do more than that. On this website, thefellow.com, I would consider there's a big tagline here at the top of the homepage, but I would actually consider the one in the header just below the logo as the main tagline. Connor McNeil is a fine art landscape and travel photographer based in Belfast, UK. I think it has the specialty, it has the brand name there in the logo, it has the location, so it kind of checks all the three main boxes. Witchoria.com has a really interesting one. It says, "Photoshop aficionado with adult teen angst." I think it's short. It's a bit, it's vague, but it's really catchy. It's creative. It's very interesting, and then it explains it further in the rest of the text. So this is another approach to draw people in with a really creative tagline, and then explain it further on the homepage or by linking to another page on the website. This one has "portraits as unique as you," which sounds cool. It could be more descriptive, but there's definitely something intriguing in there. And then you have the brand name and the location. So it works well. It's another good example. Katie Mary has "global luxury destination wedding and editorial photographer." So it's the specialty laid out, and then in big fonts, "masterful photography, spectacular destinations." And then you also have more text underneath, really explaining to first-time visitors what the site is all about. So it's done in 2 steps, and it's really good. World-renowned photography, specializing in grand celebrations with an editorial edge in the most glamorous cities in the world. I think it's nice, good example, and you can see that the video at the top does not take up the full size. It doesn't go full screen on the homepage, blogging everything else. It's cropped in a panoramic aspect ratio, so you can see there's more underneath, so you can scroll to explore more of the homepage. So let's now look at a few bad examples and why I don't like them and why I think you should avoid doing this. Number 1, welcome. It's just boring. There's really no need to say welcome on your homepage, or something like this. Welcome to my travel blog. Again, it's boring. Using the word welcome on your homepage has become such a cliche. It's similar to using the phrase passionate about photography in your about page. It's just overdone, and you should try to avoid it. You should try to write something more clever, or hire a professional copywriter to help you phrase it better. Another example on this website, which actually starts with a grid listing various blog posts. So I would actually consider the tagline to be the one underneath the logo here in the footer. Do cool things, take cool photos, which it sounds interesting, but once you think about it, yeah, but why should I check you out? The word cool is just too vague. It sounds cool, but what's your specialty? What's so unique about this website and your photographic work? Digital influencer, Australia's first professional Instagrammer. Okay, it sounds cool again, and I think she's trying to convince us just with social proof, but it's not yet clear from this what type of photography she's talking about. So it could be described a bit better. It's Instagram photography in general, any sort of common thread between the photos, travel photos, or what type of imagery can we find here? On this website, I think the tagline is here: real photographs of your individual stories, your everyday. It sounds nice, but again, I feel it's a bit too vague. Is this photojournalism or day in the life family photography? That's my first instinct when reading this, so it needs to be clarified a bit better. This website says Sally Pinera is a modern photographer with a refined quality, delivering fresh and distinctive perspective to her wedding, lifestyle, and fashion work. It's checking a lot of the right boxes. The specialty is in there, multiple specialties, but I just feel it could be made a bit shorter by a good copywriter could turn this into something slightly shorter, better edited. There are a lot of adjectives here, and some of those could be taken away while maintaining the mood of the text. It's not bad. It's definitely above average from what I've seen on other photography websites, but it just could be made tighter and sharper a bit by doing some more editing on the text. Something generic like this in a homepage or in a travel gallery, travel images from all over the world. Again, it's just a bit too vague. You need to spell out what makes these travel images unique. Otherwise, it's just a bit too vague and boring, a text like this. And another example from Richard Burnaby. He actually has a lot of text here on the homepage. I won't read it all now. I think it's a good intro, but what I don't like, two things. The first paragraph, which is what most people would read, does not mention the specialty, the actual niche of the photographer, unless people read the whole text, which I think is just too long. It should be shortened. Longer text can always be added to the about page, but the home page should be as compact as possible. Okay, that's it for now. Hope this was useful, and I just think taglines are a great way to clarify your website for first-time visitors, which is a different beast when considering compared to returning visitors to your website who might already be aware of your work and they know you from other sources. But first-time visitors, they need to create a quick first impression of your website in something like 5 seconds, and maybe your slideshow or just a single image won't do that properly. So you need to spell it out in a concise tagline or some sort of introductory paragraph, and I think that would convert people better. It will improve user experience and the results you get from your website. Hope this was useful. Bye.